Happy birthday, happy 70th birthday, Dave Molyneux. I don't know, just bringing back a few memories. I first met you when I was 15. You were 26 with a long ponytail halfway down your back. That was 44 years ago, hence 70 on Bonfire Night coming up. You've had a positive influence both mentally and financially on me ever since, and so it's still going on. A few memories I have on those first occasions when I met you. It's my dad had answered an ad that you'd put in the Evening Post of the Farmer's Guardian for a flying doctor for repairing vehicles, and I'd broken a few and there was no left, so my dad needed rescuing, and you came along and fixed a load of them very quickly. And you know, it's been said that you were the first home tune man, because after that there was all these home tune men flying about. So that developed into a long sort of a long relationship, and you helped my parents and the rest of my brothers and sisters. But I always remember one time when you were taking some goats down to a research station for my dad, and you insisted on us buying your white coat so that you look the part, taking these goats down to, I think it was Gillett's Hill. Well, there's you know, too many other stories and scrapes we got into at that time, but as we got to driving age ourselves, then you went and started your haulage business, and obviously was very successful with that, and then got into caravans at Westfield Caravans. And I'd done my university degree because, you know, with agricultural background and the help of your mechanical engineering background, I was successful there, and came doing some driving for you at Westfield when you started up. And I always remember one of the days you picked me up at Blakeo Hill, where the 61 meets the N6, and we got a brand new Atlas Festival on, and we were going up to Whitestones. I think it was Sid Smith's, I think that's what his name was. Whitestones Caravan Park in the lakes. It was a fantastic sunny June day, and we were set off early. And so I'm just asking you how we're going to do this. He said, well, it's the highest plot on the site, and I've weighed it all up, Rory. What we're going to do is going to back the little arctic that you'd made, just short of the pitch. There's a tree just above it, and we're going to get the snatch block and winch off the tree, smack onto the site. It'll be great. Right, so I know what we're doing, and you know, not a worry until we get to the park. And Sid comes and greets us and says, where's your Land Rover? And Dave said, no, we don't need a Land Rover, I weighed it all up. Anyway, when we got to the pitch, obviously, it had an older, smaller van on before, and they'd, you know, redone the pitch and levelled it, made it a bit wider, and took this tree out. So we were stupid because we'd no Land Rover. What are we going to do? Anyway, we start looking further up the hill, and Dave said, look at that outcrop of rock. And I bet we've got enough rope. It was a winch with a long rope. I bet we've got enough rope, and we got everything together, and we put a loop round this outcrop of rock, and we just managed, all day it took us to do this job. Anyway, when we're packing up afterwards and we're taking this sling from around this outcrop, the bloody rock had moved. It wasn't a rock, it was a boulder. And just imagine, you know, one of the first brand new caravans it sold, if that had come rolling down, it would have all been wiped out. Anyway, that was one of the Westfield stories. Another one was when we found out that it could have been a double for Basil Fawlty. There'd been some damage to a panel on one of the caravans, and the customer was giving him a load of stick, and we got a new panel put in a caravan at home, but it fetched down, and we were taking it out in the bottom yard whilst it was two on the wagon. Now these panels, they're very flimsy, and it was a very long panel, and as it being fetched out, a gust of wind caught it and creased it in half. Now, if anybody's watched Fawlty Towers, when Basil does his jumping up and down and hanging on his head, then that was Dave Molyneux that day. We should have had a video camera on him, and I've had no problem going into the entertainment business. So those are a couple of Westfield stories. An Highline story, we bought this trailer down at Bishop Stortford, and it was a French one, a trailer, and that was sort of a nightmare getting it back and dealing with solicitors and all sorts of things. Anyway, we got it back, and we had a job that week, and we had to alter it slightly because the beaver tail wasn't big enough. So we worked all night. We had a draught, and we cut the chassis, and with the drop bucket we put some weight on it and got the right angle, welded it all up. We had Ron helping us at the time, Ron Boardman, and we set off about 5 o'clock in the morning down to Stately's, and it was a great big unit, and it was for Billy Lee, the oil merchant at Heysham. And we fetched it back on the Friday night, parked it up on the site, and Julie came to pick us up about 9 o'clock at night. Everything had gone well, but obviously we were knackered. Anyway, the next morning, I get to there 8 o'clock, and Dave says, "Has Julie told you?" I said, "Told you what?" He said, "Wagon's been on fire." I said, "What? Why? What's going on?" He said, "Well, taco cable had arced against the starter motor just where the auto lube was. The auto lube had fed it, right, and all set on fire. The only thing that saved us was this traveller's site. All the lads had been out on the drink the night before. They were coming out of the caravans. Wanting a wee, and they put the fire out. They put the fire out, and otherwise we would have been knackered. That would have been Highline started and finished in about a week. So my job for that day was to go and rewire it, repipe it, and it took me all day. And eventually, at the end of the day, I managed to unload it, and that's how we managed to carry on and sort of get to where we are. So after all these years, still a friend. We've been business partners. He's my landlord. And advisor, and still a great influence on my career. So I'm hoping that 70's, only just a small milestone in your life, Dave, and you can carry on and try and get to the century. So I hope you have a good day. Nice knowing you.